Hi, everyone. We are here to watch the Clayface official trailer, and I am looking forward to it. But then again, I am a horror girly. I feel like Pete and Armand are like, God help us, we'll see what happens.
You know what it is, Belle? It's that I got so used to watching the um uh the depiction of Clayface in the Harley Quinn animated series where he is played by Alan Tudyk to like comedic effect that I'm not ready for like the Clayface I remember from comic books and things. Like this is going to be double jarring for me because the Clayface I know is like I'm an actor. Like it's this oh I'm not ready.
Yeah, no.
Uh-uh.
I can tell you right now, after seeing David Cronenberg films at an entirely inappropriate age as a child, all the way up to the Evil Dead remake, I don't do body horror. At this point, Belle's purpose in my life is to watch this stuff to tell me what exactly happened in it, because I don't want to watch it. Because Evil Dead had me running to churches.
You-
Show me. Show me. What do you want, Miss Hagen?
I want my life back.
I know you. You're famous.
It's a tragedy what they did to him. Boo.
Well, maybe. Well, yeah.
I'm okay.
You okay?
I'm okay. I feel great, actually.
I have no idea what side effects you'll have or how to treat them.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, the seatbelt sign is on.
We're in unknown territory.
I don't like eye things. I don't like eye things.
I'm a monster.
Mm.
I have no idea who you are.
Well, that was deeply upsetting on multiple ways and in multiple um I did not care for it, but I also kind of want it.
I don't do body horror, and I saw this trailer, and my reaction was, I would go see this. I just have one caveat, and Belle, don't hate me, but coming off of the Joker, where basically it was like if there was a black woman in the film, they were going to die. The fact that it feels like they're alluding to the fact that the doctor is not going to survive the movie kind of makes it so that if I show up and watch this movie and this woman dies, y'all don't ever have to worry about me streaming this thing. You won't get another dime out of me in relationship to this movie because I'm tired of of sisters being disposable cannon fodder for misunderstood white incel villains. Of which that's kind of the flavor that he's kind of got. But having said that, I do love the fact that they combined Clayface one and two. I feel like from a story standpoint that makes great sense. I think the setup in terms of it being the be careful fighting monsters lest you become a monster yourself kind of setup adds
Yeah.
something to the character that makes it more interesting because you can see the arc of where he starts and then where he drifts into being a villain. And I think that's I mean the best villains are always the ones that are they're not necessarily sympathetic, but you can understand their motivation. And I feel like the fact that I can get that from the trailer alone makes it so that I'm like, you know what? I'm willing to endure the body horror because if they actually give these actors a script that's equivalent to their abilities, this really might justify DC's idea of doing these kind of non-traditional spin-off kind of movies. Because if they do this well, I can't imagine what the Matt Reeves Batman, how he would deal with this character. So that's just the idea alone of it's interesting. So I'm I'm there on day one. We'll see what happens.
I think that's what you're saying kind of like brings me to the sort of the messiness for me. Cause like, I mean, there's just so much to unpack. But I think what we saw with the Joker movie, I'll just say the movie because the other one, no. But and also the first, but is you have these sort of stories that have been told, the like, you know, the movie versions in particular, Fight Club and the, you know, just these sort of like twisted sort of psychological tale that also has like the sort of, you know, physicality, that, you know, like they're horror movies, but they're also psychological horror movies that are also like thrillers, and a lot of them are like original ideas that are just that just kind of exist on their own. But what DC has is and what I think they started doing with the Joker and what this feels like again is being like, we've got a character that you could do that with, and then it's a branded character. And so, like this, you know, we've seen body horror, psychological, you know, thrillers for years, for decades at this point. Like it is a modern genre, a micro genre at least, of movies. Uh, but so I'm like, the question is, where is the fit? You know, that was the problem that I had. One of the many problems I had with the Joker film was like, where does this fit? You just slapped a Joker label on a movie that could have been about just about anybody. This is different in that, like, it is a very specific story, and you know what this person like, what this affliction is, what this science is, what this story is. Like, if it didn't have it, if the person who like conceived of it, you know, wrote it, like just put a different name on it, people will be like, oh, it's basically just like Clayface, only like a serious version. So it's almost like DC is sort of jumping to make these stories before someone else can be like, oh, it's basically just like this DC character, only you couldn't name it that. And so, but it still feels like, bah, we just slapped it on a lunchbox, and and this movie that could have been a slightly different story is now the Clayface story. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, because as much as I just don't want to look at it, it does look like it's good. It does look like it's smart. It does look like, you know, it's gonna be, but I can't, just the eyeballs. Ugh. So, so I'm just like I'm just back and forth. I'm all over the place because I'm like, where does this fit? Is there a way that Batman exists, even with, you know, how dark and good the Penguin TV show was, and what the Batman movie like alluded to being, it just still doesn't feel like it fits. Like it's like I can't imagine Venom existing in a world with, you know, Spider-Man right now. I can't really see this Clayface existing, but it would be interesting. And as much as I don't want to see this movie, it does kind of look well made, well acted, well written. So I'm useless.
I am somewhere in between the two of you. And what I mean by that is, as a horror girly, this is like right up my alley. As you know, we've been doing a series of looking back at films that kind of started the whole, whatever their genre was in horror. Um, so we watched Peeping Tom last week or the week before. And we're going to keep doing that. So I have a deep knowledge of horror. And also, I honestly think that Clayface, the character, kind of predates body horror in terms of films, at least. The character is so old, which I think people really don't understand, is that character is old. That character is almost the same age as my mama, old. And the lore is so deep, and this is the thing that we've been asking for, right? DC has the strong DC Comics of all the comics, Dark Horse, Marvel, Image, all of the comic companies. DC has the strongest bench of any of them. And we have been begging them to do something different. And to not, because if I see the Joker one more damn time, if I don't want to see the Joker anymore. I genuinely do not want to see the Joker. Now, to your point, Armand, anytime I see a Black woman in a DC property, I'm scared for her safety. Because unless her name is Amanda Waller, she's disposable. That's been the case, whether it's on the TV shows, whether it's in the and recently in the comic books, and now with this. So with the films. So I'm always concerned, because when there is a Black woman in a DC property, because I'm like, oh, she's gonna die. And I hate that. I hate that so much. My other thing is, to both your points about the Matt Reeves Batman. The Batman was so good. It was so good. And this is coming from somebody who did not want to see Bruce Wayne anymore either. I was over it. I'm so over the reboots of Bruce Wayne, but the Batman was so, so good. And this would fit into the Matt Reeves Batman universe. However, it feels like James Gunn is playing games with giving us a second Batman movie. And with Matt Reeves's and Rob Pattinson's Batman, which seems wildly short-sighted, because Robert Pattinson is on fire right now from a purely, he is the next hot thing. He was the next hot thing, but this is post-Twilight, where he has consistently proved he can actually act. After the Twilight films, where we were all like, ooh, well, you're attractive. I don't know. But then he is from the most recent film that he and Zendaya have done, to the Water for Elephants, to the one that he and Willem Dafoe did together, he has consistently proven that he is a very good actor. So it seems like, why would you not strike while the fire is hot with him and get him locked down and get Matt Reeves locked down for the next film? This would seemingly lead right into the next Batman, to me. The question is, what are they going to do with it? All we want, at least for me, because all I want is to see Robert Pattinson's Batman and David Cornsett's Superman meet and deal with their villains. And if they're taking the time to build the villains that could be a potential, I don't know, Injustice Society, which Clayface is a member of, I would not be mad at that. I am not mad at you taking the time to build up the roster. But I'm scared, because Warner Brothers has consistently shown they don't have the patience to do it. They want to get to the end. They want to get to Avengers Endgame without doing the 10 years of build up that got us to Endgame. And no matter how you feel about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, they took their time for 10 years before we got to Endgame. So I don't know. I'm probably going to go see this in the theaters for Naomi Ackie, if nothing else. I have enjoyed everything she's been in. Speaking of Robert Pattinson, like Mickey 17, which if you haven't seen it, go see it, because it's hilarious and upsetting. But I just don't know, guys. I'm concerned. And I think that has been my case with anything that DC has done in the last 4 or 5 years. Is I'm hoping for the best, but I have concerns. I think that's where we all are. Yeah. So on that note,
that's where I'm at.
I don't know if that's a depressing note or a good note or not. All I know is that we're back, baby. The trio, the Chaos Triplets are back, and we are here. And we will see you on the next one. Peace.